What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Marvin. We back again with another video. Now today's video is not going to be a vlog, however it is going to be a video kind of just giving a backstory on how I became a pretty popular editor and how I was able to work with a bunch of big creators, literally most of the creators that you guys know in the YouTube world right now. So as you guys can see, right now I'm currently doing a thumbnail for my boy V. Shout out to Cashy V. I did this one, you know what I'm saying, for Maya Nicole. I did 2 for her, and I still got a lot of work to do, but I decided that I want to do this video just to kind of like knock it out, because I am trying to stay very consistent, because if you're not consistent with everything you do in life, then you won't be successful. So just kind of do this quick video. It's not gonna be long. Well, I'm hoping it's not long, but with that being said, let's just get straight into it. Alright, so everything started back in 2020. I was in my, I believe, my junior, no, I think it was my senior year in high school, 2020. I was going to my senior year. It was during the summer of my junior year. So I was still in high school when everything started. I had literally had a school computer because I was into this class called digital art. I took that class like 4 years. However, shout out to the teacher that she allowed me to just focus on video editing, because I've always been into like music videos and all that type of stuff. I really look up to Cole Bennett. I still do look up to Cole Bennett. Back then he was like kind of like a huge influence into me getting into editing. And yeah, so one of my goals actually is, I mean, if I'm able to work with him, that's even better, but one of my goals right now is meet him in person, you know, and just literally just tell him like that if it wasn't for him, you know, he changed my life in a way that he motivated me to do something I never thought I would do. Because when I was in high school, I didn't even know what I was going to do. Like, I didn't know if I was going to go to college. I don't know if I was going to just stay in a 9 to 5. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can relate to me, because during those times you really don't know what you're going to do with your life. But, you know, later on, I kept going. I got better at editing. Shout out to the teacher. Like I said, she allowed me to do my own projects, because it was a whole digital art class, but I was allowed to make my own projects. So I could do any video editing related, and I would just literally create my own assignments. She would look through them and she'll give me a grade. So the whole 4 years I took that class, since 9th grade, I had a name that class. One time I had a B because I did forget to do one assignment, but I did it, went back up to an A. So now, literally, did I know that class was going to be the reason that my whole life changed, because then the pandemic came and they gave us the school computers. It was like a HP. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's one of those HP, like, really cheap computers that they give you at school. I went to school in Virginia, so they gave us one of those computers. In some way, somehow, I was able to install Premiere Pro and After Effects into it. However, since you know, like, those computers can really handle those softwares like that, they're way too big for them. So yeah, later on, I think this is like around August or September, something like that. I used to do YouTube back in high school. I used to do public interviews. Shout out to my boy Smooth Geo, because I really used to look up to his videos. And, you know, he was kind of like he inspired me to do something like that in my school. So I used to do public interviews, pranks, all that type of stuff. And so I used to watch YouTube a lot during then. So the pandemic came, I would watch YouTube a lot. And shout out to Avery B, because this is where everything kind of like takes off. So I used to watch YouTube all the time. And then one time I seen this video, and it was Avery. At the time he had like about 40,000, 50,000 subs. And I watched him, like, I was like, okay, it's a funny video. I think it was like, if I smash, how long would I last? Something like that. I don't remember. This is back in 2020. So I'm watching the video, you know. Then again, another video. He made another video, and it popped up on my recommended. I'm like, whoa, like, I just watched bro's video. And the next time I see him, he got around 80,000. I'm like, whoa, like, he's growing pretty fast. So the next time I see him, I think it was around 90K. So I commented on his video, yo, like, I'm on the school project. Like, I'm the type of person that I get motivated by others. So if I see somebody doing amazing or if I see them growing in a fast pace, I look up to that person. I get inspired, I get motivated, because then if they can do it, I can do it myself too. So I commented on every video. I was like, yo, like I really look, I'm getting motivated by the way that you're putting the work into these videos and the amount of effort you put into these videos. And then he kind of like, we just chopped it up. He gave me his little backstory, about him. I got to know him a little bit, and I did a project about him. I presented the project. I did not record it because I don't know. I just didn't record the project. I just did it, turned it in. From there, I was like, yo, like, I made like a little fan edit to this song that they used to use all the time called Roll Up. And the music video that I did, it was basically I put a bunch of clips together. But since I was into music videos, it looked like it was more so like a Playboy Cardi type of edit. So he told me, yo, like, this is cool. Then he gave me the idea of why not being a freelance editor and graphic designer. Mind you, I never in my life have I ever touched Photoshop or even opened Photoshop in my whole life. After that, we worked together. I had a couple videos for him. People liked the way that I did his videos, and shout out to him because he always like helped me, like, and he was always just like looking out for me. So he started promoting me, posting my work, and people would hit me up. However, I got to a point where I've met people that I used to look up to. I'm not gonna say names, but there was a couple YouTubers I used to look up to, and I got the chance to work with them. Some ended in we ended in bad terms, and some others were just, I shows that I felt like I couldn't keep editing for them no more. So as I kept working, kept going up, I'm always very creative with everything I do. I try to just be different and try to just bring something new, for real, because like that's where you get most of your value. If you can bring something that other people don't have, and you get what I'm saying. But after that, I started working with King Sid. Me and Avery split ways. I couldn't edit for him no more. He found somebody else to edit his videos. Then, now look, right? A lot of you don't even know this, but the whole 20 versus 1 editing style, it came from me and King Sid. And a lot of people don't know that. So when I do have proof that, like, me and him were the ones who started that type of intro style. So shout out to him for giving me the opportunity, that he gave me the chance, and I'll show him, like, I basically created a whole editing style that a lot of people never had seen before, which was like the text behind the person and all this and all that. And so we ended up doing that. People started liking it, people started remaking it, and to me, to this day, I look at it and I'm like, dang, like I really made something that it just stuck there. Like, people keep using that editing style no matter what. And it's funny because a lot of people don't even know I was the one who created that. Like, I mean, obviously there was other editors that have done that before, but as far as like studio videos, it was the first time I ever did it for it. I did it, I think it was like a Smash or Pass or a To Be Honest video, something like that, I don't remember. But people started copying the idea, they started copying the editing style. And one thing though, I feel like a lot of people, they like to copy whatever is trending. Now, me as an editor and as a content creator, it got to a point where I kind of felt like trapped because I ran out of ideas. And when you are someone who wants to lead and create new things, it's gonna be harder because you're not looking at somebody else's work, you're not looking at what the other person is doing, you're trying to do your own thing. So I stopped editing for probably for like a year or two, to be honest. I stepped out of the scene, I stopped editing videos. I did work for SSH, shout out to them, shout out to Malik, Keys, and Cameron, and Chotan Bari, that's my boy. I was able to, those are people that I really used to like look up to. Like, those were my like top content creators. Eventually, I started just getting better at making thumbnails. I work with a bunch of creators, and one of the people that recently passed away, P2, shout out to him, rest in peace. I remember he told me that no matter that I should really be proud of myself because of how far I've came. And then he would tell me just things to motivate myself, and I'll forever remember that he was one of the creators that really supported me and genuinely supported me to push me to do better. So then I met Fast Life Nick. That's literally my boy. Like me and him were like this, and it's funny because his thumbnails were just bad, and when we started working together, the only thing that I did was bring quality. But then I told him like we need to step it up. So we built our friendship. It's not even about business. It's literally a friendship, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of editors don't do that. You gotta build a friendship with your client. Like you gotta think about it's not just about business. Like once you build a bond with someone, once you're constantly working with them, like you get to really become friends, and then you enjoy the whole process. Me and Nick, I'll be laughing it up with him. Sometimes he'd be sending me some some funny pictures or thumbnails, and I'm like, bro, like, what the heck is this? And it's because our bond is just like it's genuine. So, and I have that type of bond with a lot of different people, and that's just how I am as a person. So definitely that's something that has helped me just get myself out there more. I just hit 30,000 like not too long ago. I think it was like last month or something. I'll be really working every single day to get to be where I am. So it's not easy. You always gotta be consistent. You always gotta make sure you're on top of your stuff, because if you're not, then you're not gonna be able to succeed. So during this whole 4 years, last year 2024 was kind of like my breakout year for real. That's when like I really blew up, I would say, because I had 10K, then I got to 20K, and then this year I hit 30K. So I just been working. When you're working and you're just focused on your goals, I'm not saying it's gonna be easier, because it's not gonna be easy at all. There's always gonna be distractions. There's always gonna be something that's gonna try to prevent you from doing what you love. And it's about how you approach every situation and how you get, how you go past that. So there's definitely multiple times where I'm like, damn, like I don't know what to do. I'm lost. But I just pray to God, try to find some type of way that I can just move on and keep going. So recently I've been working. I took a little bit of a break, I would say, because of school. I'm still in school. I'm a college student. I'm 21 years old. I'm almost out, but it is hard when you're like literally. I work in a 9 to 5. I do school. I help my mom in the house. I take care of my little brothers. So there's a lot going on in my life, and I try to keep up with it, like the best I can. Sometimes I'm not able to, sometimes I am able to, and it has affected me a lot as far as like me owning my business, because sometimes I'm not gonna have the time that I wish I could have. Post videos and just really show you guys that you can do it. If I can do it, you can too. And also because I want to look back to all these videos that I posted and just be like, dang, like I really went through all that to be able to be successful. So keep working, whatever you're doing, whatever, whether you want to get a degree, you want to run your own business, a clothing brand, just keep going for real. Like there is no easy way or like anything special about this. Like it starts with you and you only, for real. Like if you don't want it, if you really don't want it, if you want it as bad as you say you want it, you're gonna start doing it right away. You're not gonna wait until it's the perfect time or until somebody tries to help you. I started with this cool computer. Like think about that. I had no money to be able to afford a MacBook Pro, and God bless me. I couldn't buy one. I ended up buying 3. So, and that's just how it is. I wanted to give you guys like a quick video to motivate you to keep going.